Good morning, Sales Academy. Followers, podcast listeners, YouTube subscribers, all the social media platforms and stuff. And yeah, normal greeting. Thank you for being here. So today I want to talk about a subject which for some is controversial. For me, it's not straightforward. But when I say it's controversial, it's because different people have different views, different opinions, and they will on this one. I guarantee people will have views on this. So I'm expecting comments and conversations to come from this, and let's debate it, because debate is the basis of any formal society. So I welcome debate. Today's subject is about pricing, visibility of pricing, but also being proud of pricing and what happens if we're not. There's a disease within the small business world, which is haggling. You know, it's like a mini mart. It's like one of these kind of, what was it, Pratanam market I went to in Thailand years ago, and you're expected to haggle there. You're expected to pay below what they're asking. So they're either overinflated asking prices in the first place, the quality of the products and all that. So they're expecting you to haggle. They're expecting you to knock them down. And this seems to be a kind of expected thing within small business. And I always kind of sit there and go, no wonder. Where's your pricing? Where's the clarity? Where's the confidence and the courage of your own conviction of your pricing, of what you offer and the value that you bring, and pricing yourself effectively for that? If I can't find how much it's going to cost, if it's literally hard work trying to do business with you, then I'm already making my decision to move away. And yes, that flies in the face of some people that talk about not putting your price on your website, because how can they understand the full value proposition? So therefore, price will lead them away. Price was always going to lead them away if that was their buying criteria anyway. But in my experience, it's part of the buying criteria. And in fact, it's normally about third place in the buying criteria. You know, because we don't want cheap. Think about it. How many times do we buy anything that's cheap? And what's our expectations if we do buy something cheap? We know it's not going to last. So buy cheap, buy twice is the old adage and all that sort of stuff. So pricing effectively is key, because I'm interested in affordability. So I want something that's of good value, that's of a good price, you know, a decent price, good value. That's about affordability. It's not being the cheapest. It's not being the most expensive. But what it's certainly not is about being the most hidden away. All right. So I am a major fan of putting your prices out there. I'm a major fan of getting bold about your pricing structure and understanding how you price yourself. So if you consider things like, you know, I've had conversations in the past where I've asked people, how have you got your pricing? How did you come up with the pricing that you've landed on with your products and services? And they say things like, well, I had a look at the competition, and I had a look around me basically. And there was one guy that was really high priced, and there was a few people up there, and then there's a few people really down here. And I don't think I'm that cheap. I think I should be somewhere in between. So I've priced myself in the middle between these two kind of areas. And I went, okay, cool. So I've had a look at both of those two guys, and actually they're both crap. So you've now priced yourself averagely between two crap competitors. Just out of interest, how does that sound as a pricing strategy? And they're like, oh, when you put it like that, I hadn't really considered it. And I'm like, no, most people don't. That's the thing. They don't consider it. We have to make our prices at what's something worth. Or, you know, you can go through the full mathematical, and in cases you really should, you know, the cost to serve, the return of, you know, the cost of acquisition, the return on investment and stuff. Is it a short-term value? Is it lifetime value? So are you setting up, as I've talked about many, many times, are you setting your business model up for shoppers or customers? Because customers come back, shoppers buy once. So is it a single high ticket price, bang, and then move on to the next one? Or are you looking at buying repeat business from customers so that they can build a ongoing revenue pot with you that takes a level of sustainability and support and account management, rather than just sell something once and move on? Because there's a lot of effort in marketing and selling something once. And in fact, there's exactly the same amount of effort in marketing and selling something more than once. So if you think about it logically, where do you want your time and effort to be? So things that I see a lot, because I've supported the small business sector for many, many years, small to medium businesses from pre-startup through to multi-million in different industries, different sectors, still do. And I love it. And I'm passionate about it. And I'm passionate that people make good decisions. And I'm like, do you have a service? Right. Productize it. Do you have a product? Right. Service it. And I'm constantly challenging their thinking around, right, can you add service into the product model to make it an ongoing piece as well? Can you productize your services? Can you package them up so that people can see them? Because I have these conversations like, well, how much does it cost to work with you? And I go, well, it depends. If that word comes into your brain in any way, shape, or form, when somebody asks you about your pricing, you are straight away giving away the fact that you are not confident in what you charge. You don't believe in your value, you don't believe in your worth, and you don't believe in your pricing and products and service. So if you pull back a bit and go, do you believe what you offer adds value to the individual if they purchased your product or service? Do you think their lives will be enriched and be better for buying your product or service? Are you going to look after them well once they bought your product and service? Are you going to make sure that they're a happy customer so that you can get referrals and therefore repeat business in the future? If yes to all of those, then why would you be embarrassed, or why would you hide away your pricing, or why would you look at the depends option? All right. So flick depends to averages. Just get used to the average conversation. So how much does it cost to get a website live with you? Well, on average, the investment to get a website live is around £1,500. How does that fit with what you had in mind? Lovely open question, and shush at the end. Allow them to speak. So don't be afraid of it. Don't be ashamed of it. But figure out that if you go back through your diary and you look at the different appointments that you've had and the different sales that you've had, and then look at the revenue that they've spent, if you have £1,000, £2,000 and £1,500, 3 sales, well, you add them up together, you divide them by the occurrences, 3, and you'll get 1,500 as your average. So now, rather than having a depends conversation, you can give an average ballpark. And then you can actually work down specifically to what they're looking for and understand that you have a range of prices. So there's absolutely no excuse to hide your prices whatsoever. And the byproduct of you hiding your prices are that people come to you and go, can you knock a £5 off? Oh, that's a bit too expensive, isn't it? Oh, is there any way you could do it cheaper? What kind of discounts do you run? I'll tell you what, why don't you give me a discount and I'll tell all my friends and then you'll have loads of customers. That never happens, people. Stop falling for this nonsense. People are just haggling because you're afraid of putting your prices up there. So you're encouraging them to haggle, encouraging them to ask. They're preying on your weakness and your lack of confidence in your own service. So be bold, people, right? British and bold. Understand what you do, understand the value that you have, understand the difference that you make, understand the reason why people need you and that your products and service in their lives, understand all of the richness in all of that, and then price yourselves effectively. Screw the competition. Price yourselves effectively to what you're worth and the value that you add, right? Classic example, hypnotherapy clients, right? Struggling to charge more than £25 an hour for hypnotherapy. And yet there's a lady that wants to travel to Australia because her daughter moved away to Australia several years ago, and they've had children now. They've had twins, and the grandmother has not seen the twins. She's not seen her daughter apart from Zoom and all that, well, Skype as it was back then, but not seen them in person and would love to. But her fear of flying is paralyzing her and stopping her. And yet maybe one 45-minute session with that hypnotherapist could cure that fear of flying. Stop and think about it for a minute. How much would that grandmother value that? How much would her life be changed when that paralyzing fear has been removed from her life and the freedom to travel wherever she wants to, whenever she wants to, has gone? How much would she pay for that? How much would she value that? I'm thinking priceless. Yet £25 an hour is too much? Bullshit. So don't project your fears, your lack of confidence, your lack of self-worth. Please don't project that onto your customers and blame them. Be bold, be clear, be upfront. And yes, here's the dilemma, right? Because people go, yeah, but they're Googling you and they don't really know you and they don't really know the value proposition yet because I haven't really spoken to you. Well, you honestly tell me that when they speak to you, you're going to be the difference that makes the difference. You're going to be the person that's going to change the way that they buy. There's so many different connotations coming into this. If I go to your Facebook and it's different to your website, if I go to your Twitter, I'm Googling you from all over the place. And if I'm not seeing consistency and understanding, if I'm not seeing loads of value that you're adding to my life, if I'm not seeing that you're an expert in your field, you're knowledgeable, you're credible, there's great testimonials, people are recommending you and stuff, you're out there in the business circuit, I can see that you're active, all those kind of things add value into the bank account of helping me buy. And it was 60 odd percent before the internet. And it's now 73% last stats that I've seen of the buying decision is made before they actually reach out to you, the human being. 73%. So if you're thinking that it's, oh yeah, they haven't had a conversation with me, so they don't understand the value proposition. No, because 73% of them have already decided to click away. Also, 73% of them have clicked through to you. Right. So when those people have clicked through to you, sorry, let me just correct that. When people have clicked through to you, they've already discounted your competition and everybody else. 73% of the buying decision is made before they actually reach out to you. So understanding, how can somebody reach out to you if they don't even know what the investment is? That's like going to an art gallery and going, oh, I love this painting, and there's no price. You feel embarrassed to ask. You don't want to be made to feel stupid, so you don't ask. You automatically get a little voice in your head go, oh, you can't afford it. So why would we do that in business? Has anyone ever gone into Waitrose or Sainsbury's or Lidl or Asda or Tesco's, and other supermarkets are available, where you go up to the counter and your weekly food shop of 120 quid, and you go, yeah, can you knock 20 quid off that? I'm not happy with paying £100, £120. Knock it down to 100 and we got yourself a deal. They've just run everything through. You are expecting to pay the prices that are on the label. They give you controlled discounts for loyalty. They lure you in with their marketing discounts so you spend more when you're there, right? These are marketing tactics. So if your pricing's going on your website and your pricing's going to be clear and everything else, brilliant. Now you have to market harder and better, smarter and better. Now you have to really add value and communicate that value message, the why. Why do I need what you have? Why would I buy you over everybody else? Why is your product and service so important to me? All of that why proposition is so important. And if your sales and your marketing is focused around your customer needs, and then you build your business goals around delivering on your customers' needs, that's a goldmine waiting to happen, regardless of what business or industry you're in. Right? And please don't wait for everyone to come out from the cave because Bojo says we're allowed to. Get adding value now. Get your information out there in such an attraction-based way that we can't help but like what you put out. We can't help but enjoy your content. We can't help but start to know, like, and trust you. So when we're ready to buy, price isn't an issue because we know, we're clear, we've got the understanding, we're still with you. All right. So please, guys, don't encourage the haggling. All right. Discourage haggling by being bold and brave and clear about your pricing. Let's operate in small business like the big businesses do. They assume and expect that you're going to pay. So assume and expect that the people that are talking to you have budget to be able to pay. And everyone has budget. Everyone makes budget. Everyone is a millionaire. Andrea Waltz, go for no. She said this recently and it made me chuckle, but she's absolutely spot on. Everyone spends like a millionaire in one area of their life. Think about that for a minute. Everyone spends like a millionaire in one area of their life. Doesn't mean they've got the millions to do it, but they spend like a millionaire in their life, right? Did make me chuckle, did make me think. So that's the thing I want to discuss about pricing today. Small businesses make it hard for ourselves because we hide away. Stop it. Let's start the revolution, right? Start the pricing revolution. Start the conversation now. Encourage people to ask you questions about your pricing and understand the value of it, not whether you will reduce your pricing. Be bold, be courageous, be brilliant. Love you guys. Stay awesome. Come and have a debate. Come and have a conversation. If you're having challenging with your pricing, if you're unsure and you're nervous, come and talk to me. This is what we do for a living. I love this stuff. I love helping you really fall back in love with and understand completely, maybe for the first time, your real value proposition, the difference that your product and service makes. And then let's get it singing. And let's get customers then singing about your business so that your till gets ringing. Customers singing, till gets ringing. There you go. I'm like a white M&M. See you later, boys. See you later, girls. Ta-da.